Before we get started, here is a sample of just some of the sights you can see using Rome's metro. Rome's metro is by far the most efficient way to get around Rome, and in this video I'm going to show you how to access most of Rome's sites simply using the metro. And I'm going to show you some of the more obvious sites as well as some sites you may not even be aware of. There are so many sites in Rome, let's get started. You may be wondering, how safe is Rome's metro? Well, actually it's pretty safe. You don't have to worry about being shot or stabbed or anything like that, but you do have to worry about being pickpocketed. Pickpockets take place in the city of Rome fairly regularly, and the most common place for pickpockets to take place is in the metro or in the metro stations. So just being aware of that, don't let your guard down. You need to be aware of what's going on, and you'll be pretty safe. I do have a full video about how to avoid being pickpocketed in the city of Rome, and if you're concerned, you can watch that video. I'll put the link to that in the description. But in my opinion, the advantages of taking the metro, of getting around the city, outweigh the disadvantage or the threat of being pickpocketed, especially if you're prepared. So before getting onto the metro, you're going to need to buy tickets. Now you can still purchase tickets at kiosks or at the teller windows, but it's so much easier just to use a new system that they implemented in 2024 called Tap and Go. And with Tap and Go, all you have to do is use your credit card, and you can put that credit card directly on the receiver, or you can use your phone like with Apple Pay. And at the turnstiles, there's a little box right on the very top that you just tap, and it will open up the turnstile acknowledging payment. The beauty of Tap and Go is that no matter how many times you use it in a 24-hour period, the most it's going to charge you is the single day rate, and currently that's at €7 per 24-hour period. There's a rate for 48-hour period and for 36-hour period. It will automatically default to the lowest rate, making Tap and Go by far the easiest way to get around Rome. You no longer have to stand in lines at kiosks or determine if you needed to use the 1 day, 2 day, 3 day pass, because now you just tap every time. And again, it will only charge you based on how many times you used it, but the max it will charge you is €7 in 24 hours. Now it's time to explore the sights of Rome that we can see using the Metro A line, also known as the Red Line. The first stop, or the first station we're going to stop at, is Barberini. Barberini is just maybe 400 or 500 meters from Trevi Fountain, one of Rome's most popular sites. So there's a tradition that if you throw a coin over your shoulder, you get to come back to Rome. And Kim did it again. Our next stop on the A line is the stop Spagnia. That's where you're going to find the Spanish Steps. The Spanish Steps are absolutely beautiful. While at the Spanish Steps, there's a very famous street called Via dei Condotti directly in front of the Spanish Steps, where all the high-end shopping. That's where you're going to find Prada and Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and many others. If you have deep pockets and you want to do your shopping, this is the place. Even if you don't, it's a lot of fun to walk down the street, check out the window displays. Also, right down the street from the Spanish Steps, maybe 200 meters, is the first McDonald's in all of Italy. Not that that's super important, but if you're a McDonald's fan, you may want to take a look at it. A quick interruption to thank those that subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I try to bring quality, original content about Rome in every video. I spend hours editing these, so those that watch it, I appreciate it. Even if you're not a subscriber, leave me a comment. I appreciate comments. I love reading them, and give me a thumbs up if you think this video was worthy of a thumbs up. Thanks. Our next stop on the A line is Flamino. Flamino is located right next to a couple of very important sites. One of them is Piazza del Popolo. And down Piazza del Popolo, there's a main drag or a main street called Via del Corso.
Come join us for a walk down Via del Corso.
Now, unlike the high-end shopping next to the Spanish Steps, this is still a great area to go shopping. Lots of fun shops, lots of fun restaurants, a very famous street, and if you keep going down this street, it'll take you directly to Piazza Venezia, which is right in front of the Victor Emmanuel Monument. Also, at the Flamino stop is Villa Borghese. It's a huge park. You can go there and take a buggy ride bikes around. It's just a beautiful park to walk around. Now again, it's big, but there is a terrace that is just off of the Piazza del Popolo, and it has one of the best lookouts in all of Rome. You can see the Vatican along with the skyline of Rome. It's just magnificent. So I highly recommend you go up to the terrace. It's just a short walk from Piazza del Popolo, maybe 5-minute walk, and the views are spectacular. Our next stop is Ottaviano. Now, the Ottaviano station is where you're going to go if you want to go visit the Vatican or the Vatican Museum. Both are easily accessible from Ottaviano station, less than 300 or 400 meters. And you'll be at Vatican City or at the Vatican Museum. Again, on the A line, but this time heading the opposite direction, heading down towards a station called Subaugusta. Now that's where you're going to go if you want to go to the Park of the Aqueducts. And I highly recommend that you do. The Aqueduct Park is one of my favorite locations in all of Rome. It's just beautiful. It's a great escape from the city, especially when it's hot or crowded. Go out there in the evening, enjoy the sunset. Most of the people you're going to see out there at the park are other Italians, but it is wonderful, so don't miss the opportunity to explore Aqueduct Park while you're in Rome. Now it's time to explore all the sites we can access in Rome using Rome's B line or the Blue line. The way you get to that is if you're on the metro already on the A line, you just head to the Termini station. That's where the two lines cross at each other, and you can switch from the A line to the B line. Now the first stop is Cavour, and Cavour is about maybe a 5-minute metro ride from Termini station, and Cavour will put you right in the heart of the Monti neighborhood, a wonderful neighborhood to explore. Maybe that's where a great time to go get lunch. But there are a couple of great sites at the Cavour stop, including one of the most important churches in all of Rome outside of the Vatican called Santa Maria Maggiore. Definitely worth a visit. And there's also another church called La Basilica di San Pietro in Vicolo. That's where you're going to find Michelangelo's Moses. It's a wonderful statue. If you're familiar with Michelangelo's work, he also has La Pietà that's at the Vatican and the David in Florence. This isn't as inspiring as those two, but it's definitely worth taking a look at. It's free, and you can actually get up and close to it. Super interesting, so be sure to stop there. And it's, again, from the Cavour exit, it's just a few hundred meters away. Our next stop on the B line is probably Rome's most famous landmark and one of the most popular sites. It is the Colosseum. From the station, you walk out and you're at the Colosseum. And right there, you're also going to take a look at the Arch of Constantine, which is adjacent to the Colosseum. And then there's the Imperial Forum right there as well. There's a street called Via of the Imperial Forum. Walking down that street, you have the Forum on both sides. It's just a magnificent walk. I highly recommend you do that. It's beautiful. They got street performers, and it's one of my favorite walks in all of Rome. And it leads all the way down to the Victor Emmanuel Monument down at Piazza Venezia if you want to go down that far. But otherwise, just soak it in. It's an awesome stop. Lots to see there at the Colosseum. The next stop on the B line is Circus Maximus. Now this is where they used to hold the chariot races, but there's so much more to see in the vicinity of the Circus Maximus than just Circus Maximus, including La Boca della Verita. This is where you used to stick your hand in the statue's mouth back in the day, and if you were lying, they'd cut your hand off. There's a really good lookout of Rome just a couple hundred yards from Circus Maximus called the Giardino. It's a Garden of the Oranges. And from there, you can get a really nice panoramic view of Rome. Also, there are some important fountains and temples right across the street from the Boca della Verita. These include the Fountain of the Tritons, the Temple of Portuno, and the Temple of Hercules. Now we're off to our final stop on the B line, which is the Pyramide station. Now, yes, It's called Pyramid Station because Rome has its own pyramid. And this was built back around 5 BC. It's pretty cool. It's like 35, 40 meters tall, 130, 140 feet tall. Super interesting to take a look at. But this also is the area of Testaccio. Now the Testaccio neighborhood is a fun neighborhood to go walk around. It's more of a typical Roman neighborhood. It's not very touristy, but there is a Testaccio market that runs every morning from early in the morning till around 2 in the afternoon. And if you're in the area, it's a great place to grab lunch. Tons of choices. The food is excellent. You won't want to miss it. So I just showed you how to get to most of Rome's sites simply using the metro. It is by far the most efficient way to travel around Rome. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're a subscriber to my channel, you know I always try to give you high quality content about Rome, and hopefully I didn't let you down. To the next one, alla prossima, ciao.